So if you're feeling irritation, a weird discharge, an intense itchiness down there, you might be suffering from a yeast infection. It's tricky to identify whether you have a yeast infection or another issue, but don't worry. Today, we're going to talk about the symptoms, the treatments, and how to prevent them in the future. Hi, I'm Cynthia, and welcome to Real Talk with Stix, where we cover all things vaginal, reproductive, and sexual health. So what exactly is a yeast infection? A yeast infection is a fungal infection that causes irritation, discharge, and intense itchiness of the vagina and the vulva. It affects up to 3 out of 4 people with vaginas at some point in their lifetime, but it's commonly confused with a UTI and bacterial vaginosis. If you're ever not sure which infection you're suffering for, check out our video on yeast infections versus UTIs versus BV in that link below. So now that we know what we are, let's talk about what causes them. Most vaginal yeast infections are caused by the overgrowth of the fungus called Candida albicans. Candida albicans is a fungus that's actually already a part of a healthy vaginal microbiome. Your vaginal microbiome consists of many microorganisms that include yeast and various bacteria that help maintain a stable environment. However, some factors can shift this balance, and imbalance leading to a yeast infection can result from things like antibiotic use, pregnancy, diabetes, immunodeficiency, or high levels of estrogen, which can actually be caused by oral contraception or hormonal therapy. Now, we have a video about the pros and cons of different forms of birth control, like pills, IUDs, the next one on depot, female condoms, coming soon. So subscribe so you don't miss it. Let's be clear, a vaginal yeast infection is not a sexually transmitted infection, but having sex can increase your risk of getting a vaginal yeast infection, especially if it's with a new partner. Having safe sex can help avoid this. The Stix Safe Sex Kit is equipped with everything you might need when having sex, including condoms, a vaginal pH test in case something's feeling a little bit off down there, and so much more. By the way, if you're a college student, you can get free condoms on our site, again, for free. If you want to learn more about STIs, watch our most common STIs and STDs in 2023 video linked here. Okay, let's move on to symptoms. Some of the most common symptoms of a yeast infection are itching and irritation in the vagina and vulva, a burning sensation, especially during intercourse or when urinating, redness and swelling of the vulva and vagina, pain and soreness of the vagina, vaginal rash, thick, white, odor-free vaginal discharge with this cottage cheese-like experience, and watery vaginal discharge. If you're feeling any of these symptoms but you're not sure if it's a yeast infection, our vaginal pH test can help you understand if you have a yeast infection or another infection. Plus, if you go to getstix.com and use the code YouTube, you can get 15% off your first order. Okay, you have a yeast infection. Now what? Recommended treatments differ based on the severity of your yeast infection. Now, for minor to moderate cases, your primary care provider may suggest an antifungal medication, which is often topical, for about 3 to 7 days, or an oral medication that in most cases is just a single dose. In more severe cases, vaginal therapy, the antifungal medication, can be prescribed for up to 2 weeks daily and then once a week for another 6 months. Another option is a multi-dose oral medication. Now, our 3-day yeast infection treatment can be bought online without a prescription, and it's discreetly delivered. And while we have a 2-day shipping option, if you're prone to yeast infection, we highly recommend having our treatment on hand so it's there whenever you might need it. If you get caught unprepared, don't worry. Our treatment is also available on DashMart, so you can get it within minutes without ever having to leave your home. Now that you've been through all of that, let's talk about prevention so you never have to experience this again. The best ways to prevent getting a yeast infection is by avoiding these things: tight-fitting pantyhose, douching, which can remove some of that healthy normal bacteria in the vagina that protects you from infection. Avoid things like scented feminine products, including bubble bath pads, tampons. Avoid hot tubs and very hot baths. Unnecessary antibiotic use, like for colds or other viral infections. Don't stay in wet clothes like swimsuits and workout attire for too long periods of time. But let's not forget the holy grail of yeast infection prevention, our vaginal health probiotic. Our probiotic helps keep vaginal infections at bay while also helping with any gut issues you might be having too. That's a real 2-for-1. Shop our vaginal health probiotic and get 15% off with the code YouTube. Pro tip, if you also suffer from UTIs, check out our vaginal wellness tip. It includes our probiotic and our UTI Daily Protection Supplement. Your vagina and your uterus will thank you later. In case this is your first time here, thanks for watching. We're Stix, a vaginal and sexual health brand on a mission to provide the education and the products that you need to have a healthy and happy vagina. Check us out at getstix.com and use the code YouTube to get 15% off your first order on yeast infection tests and treatment, our Restart Morning After Pill, ovulation tests, UTI tests, and so much more. We'll ship what you need to you in a jiffy, so you can skip the possibly embarrassing drugstore trip. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and hit that bell. See you in the next class.